gentlemen, and welcome back to the Janay Show. I have a special guest with me, Miss Sallie Eccles.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Sallie Eccles wrote a book called Walking in Faith Poems. I love this book, and I'm so excited to share with you all her book. So, Miss Sallie, how long have you been writing poetry, and how has it brought joy and peace to your life?
I've been writing poetry for over 40 years, and what really is amazing about writing poetry, first of all, you have to be in the mood to write poetry. And it just gives me so much joy because I know anytime I'm writing, God speaks to me in my right ear, and you can see that's what's written in the book. So everything I'm hearing is from Him. It's not what I'm writing, it's what He's telling me to write. And that really gives me joy.
Awesome. What inspired you to write Walking in Faith poetry?
Well, I had 3 titles in mind when I decided to write this book, and I've been wanting to publish a book for years. And every time I share my poetry with various people, friends, whatever, they say, you know, you need to write a book, you need to write a book. And the time when I was trying to write this book, you know, people was on board, they wanted to help, they wanted to do this, but they never came through. And I had this one guy years ago in 2013. I was living in Elko City, and I remember him saying he could do my book for like $13,000. I said, well, I'm not even working, and I don't have that kind of money right now. And he was so persistent to get me on board to come to him. And I said, well, let me think about it. So finally the next day I called back, and I said, you know, this is not the route I want to take right now. And I'm so glad I waited, because there were other avenues that I could have taken. For number one, meeting Karen. I was on an assignment through Robert Half, and it was a lighting company. And this young lady that worked there, a friend of hers, they went to the same church, and she said, I know a lady in Upper Marlboro, and she just helped my friend publish the book. I said, wow. She said, I'll give you the information. So long story short, I contacted Karen. Very, very nice lady, and it's been an easy selling from there. So I'm glad I took the time not to publish it during the time that the guy wanted me to pay all this money, because people were doing self-portrait and all that stuff, and it was easy for me. It was a very hard journey. Learning to, you know, take the steps, and publishing a book is not easy. It's a lot of stress, and I had an outdated computer, and but once I hit that send key that night, it was like winning the lottery. It's a feeling I will never forget in my life. So I chose Walking in Faith because of so many people, you know, going through trials and tribulations daily and years, and we're still going through. I wanted people to know, walking in faith, that's the only way we're going to get where we're going. We can't lean on other people, and, you know, you can talk to your friends and your loved ones and stuff, but God has our life already planned from the beginning to the end. He knew then that it wasn't time for me to write. So it took a long time. I mean, over 40 years. I wish I wanted to become another Maya Angelou. And that's what my goal is right now. Keep going.
Keep going. God's time is perfect. And I mean, this book is just on time. It might not be at the time that you thought, but it's just on time, and it's beautiful. Miss Karen did a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you hope that readers will be able to pull from your book?
Well, I know from writing, everybody has a gift. And this gift was given to me a long time ago, way back in the 70s. I didn't know that I was supposed to be on this journey, and I didn't know that poetry would be something that I would be so talented with. And I remember Jenny's friend asked me one day, he said, how do you write about this stuff? Where do you get your, he didn't say inspiration, but I know when I'm supposed to write about something. I can feel it. It's like when I'm watching TV, if I hear a song or a radio, and that song kind of resonates for me to write a poem, I'll just scribble it on the title. I can write it a later date, because I know I'm supposed to write about it, because it's just telling me, you know, get the paper. And so once I get the notion to write, God does the rest in this right ear. Not the left one, it's the right ear.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it is. I hear everything in my right ear. And if I have a pause, I said, okay, God, I'm stuck a little bit, so I need a little push. And it's amazing because when I start writing, I don't know if people realize you can write poetry in prose and rhyme. I write in rhyme. Everything is a rhyme, and that's where I do, I would say, better work, and it just flows when I can tap it off with something. And then I'm a visual writer. I visualize everything I'm writing, and it unfolds like a story. So if I got a story flowing, it's just going to keep flowing. And I know when I'm going to get to the end, because it's nothing else. It's just like quiet. Wow. It's beautiful. So it's all through him.
Amazing. Your poetry has uplifted me in so many ways. When I'm feeling down and in need of encouragement, I go to find a poem in your book that fits just what I'm feeling, just what my situation is. And I want you to read some poems for us.
Okay.
And the first one that I would like you to read is Get Out of God's Way.
Okay. Just wait a second. Get Out of God's Way. When I thought of this title, we all try to fix everything. We all think that we have the answer to everything, but a lot of times we rush and we make a mess and a mistake. And if we only will take a moment to pray, meditate, when you're trying to tackle something and you're not sure what the answer is, and you second guessing yourself, that's God telling you, you shouldn't be making this decision because it's not the right time. So when you take a moment to just relax and pray about it, you hear people say, well, let's just pray about it. When you pray about it, he's already given you the answer to everything in life that we need on this earth. All we need to do is ask for it. It's just that simple. But we forget. You know why? Because we're human. Mm-hmm. So, Get Out of God's Way is, that's basically what it was telling me. So, get out of God's way. Let him guide your life. We fight and struggle daily and go through strife. God's plan is always greater in what we try to do. He has our best interest to do better things for you. So get out of his way and let him guide you through the day. He will not let you down. He will always build you up, giving us more abundance to drink from our daily cup. He'll give you hope to have a better life, giving us that special someone, whether it be our husband or wife.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The next one is called He's Amazing.
He's amazing, pretty much self-explanatory. It's nothing that he wants the best for us at all times. And it's just amazing how he can pull things together when we're not able to. Don't think when we pray, he does not hear you. Don't think when we cry, he does not see you. For the pain within our hearts, he'll make them clean and pure. So trust God at all times. He'll heal our bodies and our minds. He's amazing what he can do. He's amazing for me and you. So get on your knees day and night and leave the battle for his fight. God's love is always at its best, even when we're going through the test. So know that when we don't see his work, he keeps us safe and alert. Praise him with a hallelujah shout. You won't remember what the struggle was all about, because he's amazing.
I love that. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's amazing all the time.
The next one is I Turn to You.
Oh, I was hoping that you said it. Somehow that kind of resonated in my spirit this morning, because I was wondering which poem you was going to have me to read, and I said, I wonder if she's going to have me to. You said I Turn to You, right? Mm-hmm. To read, even though I Turn to You is a little lengthy, but as I said before, when we tend to turn to our families and friends and we're having options that he doesn't want us to go to, because he has the final say, always. And when I wrote this, I thought about, reminding people to turn to him. There's nothing wrong to turning to him. We always use him last, at the last moment usually, turning to him. And we got to remember to put him first at all times, for any situation. I turn to you. When I'm lost in despair, with troubling thoughts in the air, I turn to you. When I'm alone with an empty heart and no one to share my thoughts, I turn to you. When prayers have not been answered and dreams have not been fulfilled, I turn to you. When my tongue is filled with bitterness and unkind words spoken, I turn to you. When friends and family turn to vultures and steal your dreams during the night, I turn to you. When the rooms are filled with loneliness, covered with darkness, I turn to you. When all is well with a smile on my face, with sorrows turned into grace, I turn to you. When nothing seems impossible to you, and I'm amazed at what you can do, I turn to you. Though the power is in your hands, but we all think it's man, I turn to you. When memories of a loved one is gone and nothing is left to say, I turn to you. When the tears are dried up on my face, looking around in this empty place, I turn to you. When the storm and clouds have rolled away and darkness appear, I turn to you. When I'm weary and cannot sleep and troubles come my way, I turn to you. But when the heavens allow the angels to come, we'll all know it's well, because we turn to you. It's good.
Yeah, I felt that in my soul.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
If you read it right and you hear what he's saying, it'll resonate.
I'm just going to have you read one more. It's called Just Let Me Fix It. And I feel like all of these have kind of the same central theme. And we just need that right now. I feel like now more than ever, just for God to just have his way in our lives.
Yeah. In this critical time that we're going through, everybody is going through, and it seems like, we lose hope at times, and it's caused a lot of, hardship and headaches to a lot of people that have had jobs lost and everything, and people that, at food banks and going various places trying to get help, and they probably never experienced that before, but God is going to fix it in his time. But we just have to be mindful and have an open heart and know that we're going to get back on track, but we all have to be unified in doing so, and just don't give up. Just let me fix it. Give it to me when your heart is broken or troubled. Life can be like a landfill of rubble. Everything lost or destroyed, people lost jobs and can't get employed. Seem like everyone we call upon will not lend a helping hand. But it's okay. They were not the one. Now give it to me and let me fix it. Pay close attention. I'll show you how it's done. Piece by piece and patience too, I'll put it together just for you. You won't know when, you won't know how. Even though for you the journey has been rough, I'm not fragile. Now I've become extremely tough. I can take care of all your fears because I'm the only one who really cares. Just let me fix it. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
Just let me fix it.
Just let me fix it. Take your hands off it. Just let
me fix it.
Yeah.
And he does an amazing job once he does.
What's next for you, Miss Sallie?
Okay, I'm in the process of completing my second book of spiritual poetry, and this one is centered around 2020. Everything that we've experienced in 2020, like I said, the people losing their jobs, the coronavirus, wearing the mask, George Floyd, Brianna, all the devastation that is happening around us. And so this second book is going to be much larger than the first book. I pulled a lot of good poems that reflected on what we all have experienced in the 2020. And so that one's going to be entitled The Struggle is Real, or The Struggle is Real. And so that should be done, I want to say like the second week in April. And it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be like maybe 80 some poems in that one. Because this one is kind of like an appetizer. And I wanted to make this one a little bit much larger, because when you read this one, you go through it so fast, people come asking, when are you going to write the next book? When are you write? And I think by me waiting, because I was supposed to write it like a year after this one, and that's what my editor pretty much proposed to me, but somehow I just wasn't on track. And I'm so glad I waited, because it was much more for me to gather doing the second book, and putting a lot of poems in there. Like I have like 400 or 500 poems in my database, so my next book after this one is going to be a love poem. So when I write about love, people have heartaches and they go through various changes in relationships and things like that. So I'm just going to keep on writing, but I want to take a pause and do a love book. And I was, one young lady asked me, she said, well, why are you writing spiritual portraits and you're going to write about love portraits? I said, because God is love. When he gave me this gift, it wasn't you want A or B. He gave me the gift of writing. So we can talk about it, we can write about it.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
Yep,
Both
can't
of them.
wait.
Where can people purchase Walking in Faith poems?
But right now, you can go to my website, which is SallieEcclesAuthor at gmail.com. And follow the instructions, or if you meet me in the streets, I can always have a copy in my truck ready.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely check that out. Thank you so much, Miss Sallie, for sharing, for coming on the show and sharing your beautiful poetry. And her website and contact information will be down below in the description box for you. And thank you all so much for watching the Janay Law Show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Janay.